Hey everyone! So it's time for you to learn your first song on the acoustic guitar. You're in luck. We got an easy song that you can lead at any Bible study at your church, and it's only 2 main chords. And I'll teach you a little trick at the end if the 2 chords are a little bit easy for you. So we're gonna start off with our fretting hand, and it's very simple. We're gonna use 3 fingers for this whole song. We're gonna use our pinky and our ring finger. We're gonna mount them up here on the first string, so that's the string closest to the floor like an elevator. We're gonna put our pinky on that first string on fret 1, fret 2, fret 3. And you're gonna want this to be as close to the fret as you can. That's gonna make it easier to hold down with your weak little finger until it's a little bit stronger. Then we're gonna do the same thing with our ring finger. We're gonna go fret 1, 2, 3. So these are right on top of each other on that 3rd fret. Pinky on first string, ring finger on 2nd string. We're gonna take our middle finger now and we're gonna go all the way up here on the 6th string, the low E string, and it's gonna be on the 3rd fret as well. So everything's on 3rd fret, and our middle finger is actually, I don't know if you can see it here, but it's pretty flat. We're gonna use it to block the 5th string. So here's 6th string, that low E, that is fretted to a G. We're gonna use our middle finger to block the 5th string so we get this sound, which by itself does not sound good. However, in context, it gives us this really big, full G chord. This is a G5 if you really want to know the specifics. So our pointer finger is just hanging out, floating. It doesn't have to do much, so I just kind of let it hang off the front right here because my pinky and ring finger are fretting those, so I don't have to worry about it kind of getting touched on the 1st and 2nd string. So when you play it, it just sounds like this. And make sure you're getting that blocked 5th string to A string, because otherwise, if you don't block it, you get this sound. Kind of clashes with that low G in the G chord on that 6th string 3rd fret. So that's our first chord. This is our G chord. Next, all we're gonna do is take our middle finger and we're gonna move it 1 string down to the 5th string on the 3rd fret. Same thing. Pointer finger still floating, nice and easy for you. However, for this string, while our middle finger is still blocking the string below it, now it's the 4th string. We're gonna use our thumb to wrap a little bit, and we're not gonna play the 6th string. We're just gonna dud it out. So now the 6th string has that dudded out sound that sounds like this. And the 4th string does as well. So now we have all of those. And this is our C chord for the song. And if you wanna know the technical term, this is a C add 9 chord, or a C9 chord, a C add 2, but not really because we're playing an octave above the lowest note in the chord. And yeah, it's a C9 chord. So we have C9 with our thumb blocking the low E string, because if we don't block it, then we get this really low, warbly sound that kind of throws off the whole sound of the chord. Not the best sound, especially when you use your thumb, it sounds a lot cleaner. Then move our finger, our middle finger back up to the 6th string, block that 5th string while you're doing it. So you have G, move it down, use your thumb, and block it. So I would take a minute or so now and just practice switch between those. So pinky and ring finger on that 3rd fret of the 1st and 2nd string the whole time. Don't move them, don't move them. Middle finger, 6th string 3rd fret for the G chord. Move it down and use your thumb to block the low E string, the 6th string for the C chord. And I would practice a strumming pattern. You can do as simple as down, 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 up, down, switch, down, 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 up, down. Those will work perfectly fine for our song. Or if you know more sophisticated ones, the down, down, up, down, the cowboy strum, you can do that and practice switching. Either one of those will be just fine for your beginning strumming. Or if you just want to play each one time, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do any of those 3 options, whatever level you're at, with your right hand. Now it's really important on your right hand, you want your pick to be like a flag. So put your thumb up like this, and that'll be the flag pull. Your pick should be sticking out the side like this. And it's kind of an extension off the side of your thumb. You don't want it to be pointing, because then when you're strumming, you kind of have this awkward, flailing, dead fish strumming hand, and it's not very controlled. If you do this technique where you do the flagpole, and then you can use your pointer finger, you can kind of knuckle it, you can use 2 fingers. I've seen lots of different techniques. I kind of meet in the middle. I kind of do this like finger and knuckle kind of halfway thing, typically. But what this does is it allows your elbow to do all the motion. And you want it to be like you have a shaker in your hand. You're like, and that's gonna help you have a lot of rhythm, because when you do more advanced strumming, it's gonna allow you more flexibility. So getting things like, or maybe, my hand just keeps the train rolling the whole entire time, and it never changes. It's going up and down. I'm just changing when I hit it. And maybe I want to drive it a little bit. And so it sounds very full. So now, the first song we're going to learn, The Blood by Bethel Music. You can think what you want about Bethel Music. You can think what you want about the song. It's an easy song, and it's kind of gotten really popular, even though it came out, I think, 3 years ago now at this point. So we're gonna start on the G chord, and we're just gonna play that for 8 counts. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch to the C, 1, 2. Make sure that thumb is there. 1, 2. Switch back to the G chord. Everything changed. It's getting harder to recognize the person I was before I encountered Christ. I don't walk like I used to. I don't talk like I used to. I've been washed from the inside. I've been washed from the inside out. Been the blood. So as you can see, the song is very simple. It just alternates between that G chord and the C chord. Now for the bridge, it's the same pattern, although it does change a little bit on the very last section of the bridge. But you can still play the same thing, and no one's gonna know the difference because the chords are interchangeable. So if you're playing along, you can do the same thing. But I would say when we get to the end of the bridge, we want to build it up. So I think the end of the bridge is, does anybody want to be holy? And so when we get there, we're going to kind of dig in a little bit. So instead of just, does anybody want to be holy, righteous, purified, and spotless? Let me tell you, it's only by the blood. When we get to that part, we want to kind of maybe double time it. So we do, does anybody want to be holy, righteous, purified, and spotless? Let me tell you, it's only by the blood. So you can dig in. And if you want to even add more on that, you could do double time. So now instead of down, up, it's going to be down, up, down, up, down, up. So you would speed up twice as much. Does anybody want to be holy, righteous, purified, and spotless? Let me tell you, it's only by the blood. Chorus. Hallelujah, hallelujah. I know it was the blood, could have only been the blood. All right, so you've got lots to work on. You can play that through the whole song. And even better, the key of G is the key of the recording. So you can play along with it, which is, in my opinion, the best way to practice, because it'll help with your timing. It'll help you play with a band. It forces you to listen while you play, which is the absolute biggest obstacle that happens with new players, is they don't play with people. And so they just get used to playing by themselves. And then when they try to finally play with people, their timing is off. They don't know how to listen while they play, so everyone has to listen to them, and it kind of throws off the groove of the jam or the song. So practice playing with the song in the key of G. Now, I told you there was one final step to this. So if you can nail the G and the C and you're like, Matt, this is the easiest thing I've ever played and it's my first day playing guitar. So now it's day number 2. You came back to the video. Here you are. Congratulations. You practice and you're rocking and rolling. There's one more chord actually in this whole song, and it's our Dsus chord. So we've got our G chord like this. We've got pinky and ring finger, strings 1 and 2 on the 3rd fret. Our middle finger, same spot, third fret of that 6th string. Our C chord is here, and we're using our thumb to block. Now the Dsus chord uses our pointer finger now. So we take off our middle finger, and our pointer finger is gonna play on this 3rd string, 2nd fret. And we're still gonna mute with this low, with our thumb on the low E string, on the 6th string. So the pattern is actually gonna be 7 times on G, 1 time on Dsus, and then 8 times on that C, and it sounds like this. Everything changed. It's getting harder to recognize the person I was before I encountered Christ. I don't walk like I used to. I don't talk like I used to. I've been washed from the inside. I've been washed from the inside out. Hallelujah, hallelujah. I know it was the blood, could have only been the blood. And we're gonna cut to the bridge so you can feel that vibe of how that D chord really pushes it a lot. Does anybody wanna be worthy, holy and righteous, purified and spotless? Let me tell you, it's only by the blood. Does anybody wanna be worthy, forgiven, justified, really living? Let me tell you, it's only by the blood. Hallelujah, hallelujah. I know it was the blood, could have only been the blood. There you go. So you got the simple version. 8 beats of G, 8 beats of C. G, move it down, use your thumb every time for that C chord. Don't let it escape you. I promise it'll help you later in life. That C chord, mute that low E string, the 6th string with your thumb. Then the D chord, same thing, leave that thumb there. We got our pointer finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and we get this nice, it's a nice transition chord especially. So we have G, 7 strums, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the D chord, mute with that E with that thumb. 1 time to the C, 8 times, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and congratulations, you've learned The Blood by Bethel Music, and it's the first song you've ever learned, and it's a great song in my opinion. And when you start playing with a full group, if that is where you're gonna go with this eventually, these chords will work just fine with the actual chord chart. So you can just remember that. You don't even have to have the chords for this song. You just know G 7 times, D 1 time, C 8 times, or G 8 times, C 8 times. And then you can play along and everyone's gonna have a great time. If you have any other song suggestions or requests, I'm willing to learn anything, and I'll teach you the easiest way to play it. That way you can be successful with your worship leading or small group leading in any capacity. All right, be sure to subscribe and follow for more. That way you can see the next video I put out. See you later.